can you really just pour scrambled eggs onto some shredded hash browns to make an omelet? There's only one way to find out. This cook has 3 key things which I think make it a great griddle meal, possibly the best thing you can make on the griddle. Sorry, smash burgers, I apologize. But it is simple. It can only really be made on the griddle if you want to make a lot of them. And it has that classic diner appeal. We'll start there with the diner appeal. I don't know about you, but I bought a griddle to make diner food, omelets, pancakes, bacon, cheese sticks, stuff like that, French toast. So, this is basically a Western omelet combined with shredded hash browns. I don't know how you get much more Americana than that. Like, that's it. That's Greasy Spoon Diner. Like, that's everything I want on a Sunday morning after I just spent all Saturday watching college football and maybe having a couple beverages. So, you start with your ingredients. You got shredded hash browns, eggs, diced ham, some peppers and onions. I cheated. I didn't do these myself. I bought them pre-cut from the store. Please don't judge me. Butter. We're going to do a lot of butter with this. Some Freedom cheese. Sure, you can use fancy cheese, but I like that. Somebody will always say, oh, American cheese is not real cheese. Yeah, but it's real delicious, okay? So I use it in this omelet. Salsa, sour cream. That's it, man. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
So we're going to try to get our griddle to 400. It's only at 300 now. We're preheating on medium-low. And number 2 here is you can only make this on a griddle because you need this space to spread this omelet out. We got a half a stick of butter. I know it's a lot. It's enough butter to make Paula Deen blush. And look, some people are like, that's too much. And other people are like, nah, this is why I watch your channel, Johnny, just to watch that much butter melt. And those are my people, the butter melting people. I just want you to know I appreciate you. So we're going to go ahead and once it melts, mix all of our hash browns in. You want to coat all the hash browns with the melted butter. Get 2 spatulas out. If you don't have 2 spatulas out, are you really even griddling? I mean, what are you doing? Trying to show off here in front of my family. But they don't care. They're not impressed at all. But anyways, so you mix all the butter in. You're going to spread this out. And then you're going to make a rectangle out of these shredded hash browns. So the goal here is you don't want them piled up on themselves. Okay? But you want them thin enough to where everything's touching. So it's not piled up, but not too thin to where they're like you see the griddle through it. So it's hard to explain. Let's look at this previous hash brown omelet I did that didn't turn out too well. So you can see here, all the hash browns are really spread out. And then I got 3 eggs. So I went too heavy on the eggs, too little on the hash browns for the consistency that I think is good for this. So this works. You'll see here as I fold this hash brown omelet up that it still works. It's just, it's more of an omelet with little pieces of hash brown in it rather than a hash brown omelet, which is a lot of potato. So I fold it up here. It still looks good. It tastes good. No one's complaining about it. It's good, but it's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is thin, spreaded hash browns, but with no holes. About as thin as your uncle's hairline that he's been combing over for the last 10 years. We're going to put some Johnny seasoned salt on all this. Not sponsored. Wish I was. Then we're going to throw down some diced ham, some peppers, some onions. We're just making a Western omelet. I bought the pre-made stuff, like I said. Then come back with some pepper on the potatoes. Would have made more sense to put the pepper down after the seasoned salt. Certainly would have, but that's not how I did it. So can't change time. 400 degrees now. We're where we want to be. 400 on the griddle, but then the potatoes on top aren't quite as hot, which is, good. That's where you want it to be. Go ahead and mix together all of our ingredients that are going in the middle, the ham, peppers, onions, all that good stuff. And then we're going to go to the question that everybody asks all the time with this omelet, the $1 million question: what type of hash browns should you use and which ones are best?
All right, so we'll go over hash browns. So I'm using the frozen hash browns for this one. We did about 3 cups with 4 eggs. I've used the dehydrated ones a lot lately, and I really like those. Is it funny? Yeah. But I think they might slowly become my favorite. I know there's fresh ones too that people really like a lot. I'm using frozen in this one because they work. That's what I used to use a lot. And also I wanted it to be something that I felt was accessible to everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody can get this at the grocery store. I don't know if you can get these. I got them off Amazon. You can find them at Costco sometimes. Somebody else said they go to Waffle House and they just buy a big box from them. So there you can get them, but I decided to use the frozen ones this time because I just want to make it as easy as possible. Hopefully you can get all these ingredients. It's real straightforward. But yeah, there's different opinions. They all work. But right now this is my favorite one. But today we're using the frozen. Right, bud?
The
key with hash browns, like these ones, is to not play with them. That's the hard part, because you just want to keep touching them with your spatula. You just want to touch, and keep trying to peek under there and see if they're getting crispy. Eventually you'll see on the sides here, around the edges, that they start to get brown. And you just got to get used to your griddle. I mean, like I said, I'm around 400. I was on medium today because it's kind of cold in Ohio. And, it's going to take probably 10 minutes, sitting there. You don't want to go over 400. I feel like they'll burn too dark on here.
And this is what some burnt hash browns look like over 400. So, stay right where I told you. You can see on top of the hash browns we're around 250, just about 3, which is why this is perfect for the griddle. It's simple. It controls the heat for you. When you're at 400 for the hash browns, then your eggs can go right on top of them around 300, and they're not going to get burnt, which is a hard thing to do. A lot of times, a common mistake I used to make is burning my eggs when I first got the griddle because I had it way too hot. And this kind of helps with that because it lowers the temperature where you're putting the eggs. So, that's why, those are the 3 reasons why it's just the perfect griddle meal. You can see after I poured the eggs, I'm just moving them out like it's a trowel, and I'm like laying bricks here, just out here laying omelet bricks out here. But you just move it out and then let it set up. Add in your filling here. You can do whatever filling you want. You don't have to do this Western filling. Just get creative with it. Put bacon in there. Put mushrooms in there. Put olives in there. Don't put olives in there. That's disgusting. Please don't do that. But put whatever you want in there, And then you're going to fold it over. And at this point would have been a good time to put the cheese in. But I didn't. And, it's hard to film and cook at the same time. And I forget things like the cheese. So I unfolded it. And then we came back and hit it up with that Freedom cheese. It just melts so well. Even though I would have preferred to put that under the meat so the meat and the eggs would help melt it. We're still good, no problem. Once you fold it over on itself, all that heat's going to come down and it's going to melt that cheese. American cheese melts so easily too, just so easy to melt. So not a big deal. No mistakes, happy accidents. That's the way we griddle, folks. Just like Bob used to say, you just keep going, or no judgment. This is not pretentious cooking. This is just in your backyard making food for your family to have good memories and good food for the people you love. That's all we're trying to do here. And because of that, I made some pancakes for my son because, let's be honest, he's not going to eat these omelets anyways. He only likes plain eggs.
Well, there they are, the hash brown omelet. I'm going to go in and get my son some pancakes, my wife and I an omelet. If you want to see another great breakfast meal on the griddle, click on your screen now. Thanks for watching. Keep on griddling, friends.